Hey, Matt.
Hello there.
Good evening.
Here we are,
Back again.
doing it all over again.
Another day.
And another week.
Another month.
I don't know how long we can keep this going.
Basically, until you say another year, and then it's kind of the end of it. Anyway, what are we doing?
It's the Gamers 2 podcast for May 24th, 2019. It's a Friday.
And Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
For anybody that gets to have the benefits of Memorial Day.
Lots of traveling this Memorial Day.
Lots of traveling.
Traffic.
Not for me.
No, not for me either. Traffic was nuts, just in general, trying to drive around today.
I got lucky that my way to and from work was pretty empty because I don't know if schools had half days around here. Some of them, I'm sure, because they maybe had
Some were off.
Yeah, some of them might have been off for snow days to burn, but also the majority of people at my business just weren't there, so I didn't even have to fight anybody leaving the parking lot.
Lots of sports cars on the way up. Lots of Corvettes.
Lots of thems around.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a few people that I'm aware of around here that have decided to partake in the Corvette.
Yeah.
Car
so
club.
a Mercedes, I think it was a C-Class, a sporty C-Class of some kind.
Okay.
Dual fishtail. Coming,
On purpose, I assume?
Yes and no.
Ah.
I think it was someone who's
Let
not
me
necessarily...
I want to show off, but I went too far.
Yeah, like they were trying to accelerate quickly and it got a little loose, and because they quickly it was very much a foot off the gas, like the car
Slow down,
stopped.
straight back up.
Yeah.
A little bit of loosey-goosey because I don't understand how to control the power of my vehicles.
Exactly. It was entertaining though to witness. Yeah.
Hey, gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
Somebody's gotta do it.
Yep.
Oh, my
God. Yeah, I know, right?
I shouldn't be yawning. Anyway,
Slightly later than normal.
later than normal, made Matt watch a movie that he had never heard of.
Yeah, that's weird. It's funny that one of their movies slid under my radar because I'm familiar with the group. So
I remember seeing the trailer for the other one, and I just haven't watched it yet. So I'll get around to watching that one.
yeah, it's good.
But we'll talk about that in a second. What have you been doing the last 7 days?
A whole lot of nothing. So
Perfect. Let's just move on.
just watching the old anime. That's really about it. Watching anime. I mean, I've gotten to the computer enough to update games is really about it, and think about playing them. And then as soon
Ooh,
as
look, that's the game. I have something else to do.
as soon as I fire it up and I'm like, okay, I got the next 5 hours before Samantha comes home or something like that. Then I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go do this stupid thing.
I gotta do responsible shit, and it's not even that. It's just she's gonna make me do things.
Yeah, it's me weighing at this point. It's me weighing the turmoil of playing the game and then dealing with the
displeasure.
Yeah, the fallout of you didn't do the X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Or me doing X and Y and not doing Z,
which is also still not good enough.
Yeah, but getting 50% of the fallout instead of 100%.
Right.
We'll see. I have the weekend off, so maybe something will happen.
Maybe. You have Monday off or no?
Of course not.
I didn't. I know they're not closed, but
yes.
I didn't know if they were doing everybody fours or if they were just hating everyone.
The Wild West at the old.
No, it's not. It's not the Wild West. All the leadership get to do whatever the hell they want, and then they just kill the peons. It's more like indentured servitude.
Yeah, it's more
like
the Deep South.
It's more like the dirty Deep South.
Yeah.
You guys all have to sit in the small house.
What is relevant to what I have done this week? I have committed to doing the baseball anime, so I'm like,
I do enjoy that you've committed to this baseball anime. Of all the sports that's not racing, you've committed to a baseball anime, and you have also watched a volleyball anime.
Yeah.
You have watched the two sports that I play, and I just don't watch these.
I'm like 60 something episodes into the baseball anime. They made it to. They did not win their regional division. They lost the last game.
What a heartbreak.
And then the team that won went all the way to the finals of nationals and lost at nationals.
More heartbreak.
So that's where we're at in that anime. Watching Voyager with Samantha. She's enjoying it, which I'm enjoying her enjoying Voyager more than I am enjoying watching Voyager again.
Right.
Because Voyager has very strong female characters who aren't cheesy. They're not like, they're
Not shoehorn.
They're real characters. And she's enjoying that, and it's interesting to see her get excited about that.
I do have a like weird thing for, and I'm sure you've experienced it with the way that we share media with each other, but having a thing for showing somebody something and being like, I don't even give a shit if I see that. I've seen this 100,000 times. I want to watch you watch it.
Yeah.
Like Black Dynamite, when I'm walking around showing people Black Dynamite, I'll watch this all day. I need to see your reactions to what you're about to witness.
Yeah, Black Dynamite's good. It's actually Avengers Endgame is what brought it out, because like there's the cheesy female scene where the female Avengers assemble. And like I'm like, oh, that's cheesy. But Samantha like genuinely got excited about it. I'm like, okay, so this is like a thing. Like, I guess mean, it's not my perspective.
Sense,
so.
It makes sense that it's a thing. It just, for us looking at it, we're like, okay. I mean, it's only like 3 seconds of like a weird moment where the moment itself doesn't take away anything. It just seemed like put in a situation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was weird, but that's not the...
So that like forced me to get her to start watching Voyager, because I'm like, all right, well, maybe that's, maybe she'd enjoy that because it has a very strong, like real female lead.
Right.
And she's like eating it up like candy. So I'm getting enjoyment out of that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I use Black Dynamite as a barrier to entry for jokes.
Oh yeah, Black Dynamite.
If you don't laugh at Black Dynamite, you can leave my house. You're not welcome here. It's not going to be funny anymore.
What was the? Speaking of Black Dynamite, what was the thing I saw? They're working on Kung Fury 2.
Probably, yeah.
But the cast is like,
it's supposed to actually have people now.
Yeah, it has an interesting cast.
Yeah,
I'll think of it at some point.
Kung Fury 2 was was like as much of a joke as the first one, except then it started getting super serious people, and you're like, oh no, I don't know if this is good now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the couple actors I saw attached to it, I'm like, when did this get big?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was right after it got made, and everybody's like, this is amazing, and then it just, boom, gone. I thought they Indiegogo or Kickstarted the second one, maybe? I don't remember.
Maybe. Well, that's all I've been doing. What have you been doing?
I've been doing a lot more, not really, I don't know. The huge is what I would say.
All reliable.
All reliable, the Pokemans goes, the MLBs, the shows, the Division 2 a little bit. Little
That's the one I want to get back into.
Little Dibble Dab. Doug Dibbadab, owner of the Dimsdale Dibbadab.
Samantha almost had an aneurysm because I I logged into battle.net.
And did she just see WoW? And,
she saw the battle.net launcher, and she like got like pissed. I was like, she's like, are you going to play WoW now? I'm like, probably in August. And she's like, what are you talking about?
You're just like, listen, I'm reliving 10 to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Let me have this.
Anyways.
God, she is going to hate you.
Yeah.
Well, here's how I'll really piss her off. Seeing how it's classic, I'll put it on my laptop. And then I'll come down there, and we'll just play in the living room.
Do that was what really broke the like we had land sporadically our PCs sporadically. And then WoW was what really like made it an okay normal thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah, just hanging out, grab some pizzas, grab some beers, and just hang out and do some quests, man. Kill some zebras in the barrens, kill 400 of them and wonder why we only have 3 hooves. All the great times. That's the majority of what I've been playing. I did try to play a little Battlefront 2. It is painfully obvious that while it can be somewhat fun, if you didn't get in the beginning and you don't want to put money in,
yeah,
still not worth it. That's just on the multiplayer side. You and I have on this podcast, I believe, hashed out how the single player story is not good. And then, God, have I played anything else? Nope. I haven't really read that book that's written there.
No Football Manager?
Oh, good call. So a lot of Football Manager. To the point where I was up till 2-something in the morning one night during the week playing Football Manager.
That's why you're tired, because
that was a mistake, and I'll tell you why.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is like, it's probably caught up to you throughout the week.
I readjusted my sleep schedule to fix that, but it was the last night volleyball into breaks, and being Thursday volleyball, it's competitive. So I actually have to like move and do a lot of squatting and bending and jumping. So I tire myself out like a jackass because I'm fat and lazy. And so this morning I woke up and I'm just like, I'm sore and don't want to move. I'm like the nice sore where it's just the full body. Like, you just want to lay here and not do anything, don't you? And I'm like, I do, body. You got to go to work, brain. Fuck, God. So yeah, but we did play till 2-something in the morning that one night. And then we played a couple times. He actually just texted me right before we started recording. He's like, I'm going to actually be out soon if you want to try to get a couple games. And I was like, haha, joke's on you. I'm still doing a podcast way later than I should have. But the reason I was up till 2 a.m. that one night is we finished the league. I got knocked out of Champions League again by Atletico Madrid. They are the bane of my existence in the Champions League. Somehow I always draw them. Somehow I get fucking knocked out by them every time. I finished 3rd in the league. So I got back in the Champions League. Kenny finished 5th, I believe. So he's in Europa. Then we hit the summer window. And it was wheeling and dealing, signing and kissing babies, signing tits, the whole thing. And we burned for just hours to get through the entire summer. I bought 3 players. He bought a bunch of players. His team looks way better than last year. My team looks to last year. I tried to sell the most expensive player on my team. He didn't want to fucking leave or go anywhere. That got really annoying. But I'm still happy with the team I have. There are, I think, the top 5 in our league are pretty solidified. In Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, or top 6, I should say. And it's the top 6 that are always there. Those 3, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man U. We are the top 6 dogs. Nobody else really seemed to get stronger. We all got stronger. So it'll be Man City just went and bought like some of the best players on all these other teams and just kept buying people.
Didn't they have some real world nonsense that happened?
Yeah, and they still will.
Okay.
We'll see whether or not how corrupt UEFA is. That's a different discussion. So yeah, then I think that's the last thing I've been playing. Yeah.
So it's like 90% of your time now, Football Manager and the show?
If we're combining the two of them into 90%?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10% Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or I guess 9% Pokemon, 0.5% Division 2, and then 0.5% whatever the hell else I said.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more like 0.01. It has been a lot of football, man. But I love it. It's a fun time. It's a fun time because I just don't need to do anything. I just need to sit there and like number study and just stare at all these.
It's one of those games, like, I don't have one at the moment, which that's what Destiny 2 was for a long time, where it was just mindless. Like, you could just go.
When we were playing Destiny 1, and it was just like, all right, yeah, you guys want to get on and do 30 strikes tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not playing the game. We're just there talking and hanging out, and then just keep auto-dropping into these missions.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun time. But it brings out, like, out of the park baseball does it for baseball pretty well, but the soccer one, the out of the park doesn't have the online that FM does, which is why I love FM so much more. But the baseball is where I really like thrive. I do pretty good for myself in football.
Is there not a baseball manager on par with
there
football
is.
manager?
It'd be out of the park, but it doesn't have the online component. It has all the other stuff. It
that
just
seems like a big failure.
I hope they figure out at some point.
Because like a baseball manager that's, you know, fully featured and good.
If it was the same, if it was
kill.
if it was good as FM, I'd be bye. Take
because
my money.
you get Americans, you get Japanese, like you get a lot of hardcore. Yeah. There's a lot of hardcore crossover between baseball and gamers.
Everybody in the Central America.
Yeah,
I mean, some of the Europe leagues are kind of starting. South America, yeah, it's a whole thing, but it doesn't have the online, so that's why that's off. But it's what brings out what I love looking at sports and going, I bet I could fix that team. I know I probably can't, but I like to think that I could.
Yeah.
And a lot of stories came out recently with how bad the Mets organization is doing. And I'm a Yankee fan, so I love to see them in turmoil. But at the same time, they made a lot of fucking dumb decisions in the last 3 years that don't make any sense to me. So when we rewind the clock back to even the beginning of this past offseason, I could have potentially put them into a better contention situation, I think, in my head. But at the same time, I would have probably actually needed to start then and give myself a 3-year window to like fix the team based on the bad contracts they have, places, and all this other weird stuff of like, no, we need to just get to here. And I think I could have done decently, but I'm not going to ever get into a baseball GM role where I have that ability to do that because I'm not a businessman or a whatever. Yeah, air quotes on all that stuff. But otherwise, yeah, watching soccer. Now it's over, but we're going now towards the Champions League final, which will be fun for Kenny and I to watch. He'll be watching the Europa final. It'll be all a good time. Been watching some playoff basketball. We got Toronto and the Bucks still going. Been watching the baseball in the first place. Yankees. Power that be. What up? And yeah, that's that. It's been a lot of stuff. We also, I have down here, I did watch another episode of Hannah. I might be done. I'm pretty positive I'm done because I gave them one more episode. They explained slightly more, but they didn't develop the characters, which pissed me off.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta bail.
They did a slight like, hey, this should make more sense now. Like we've hinted at it, but let us like break it down and tell you. And then they tell you, but then the characters still just don't play out well. I think anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll talk about it off because I don't want to spoil it, but for anybody listening, if they were watching it, but it just, I think I'm in episode 4 or 5, maybe 6, but it just, the character development right at the end of that episode, I'm just, God, this sucks. And then I try to get back into watching some Superstore. While it's still funny, I think I think the first season really does a lot well, and I think the second season is starting to slip up. The first season does a lot of what I consider Scrubs to do really well, where Scrubs has characters having relationships across multiple episodes, but dealing with things compartmentalized within the episode. So whatever their conflict is dealt with in that episode. And
but the relationships continue.
Right. The relationships are always developing, but their job problem is only that episode. Like, they might reference it again, but it's not the main crux of the next episode. Yeah. Usually. I mean, sometimes you had stuff where Cox kills a bunch of people, and, like, they have to carry that out a little bit. But this one, I think I'm into episode 3, and we're not counting that first one that doesn't make any sense because I think it was a holiday one that they were trying to capitalize on. But the beginning of the first season, or the second season, is all still on that strike thing. Like, they're still talking about it. I'm like, no, this should have been... We don't need a strike storyline across the entire season. Keep just quick hitting punches and develop your characters that you have. That's all. I'm gonna give it a shot and hope they break out again, and they like stop that storyline and then go back to what they were doing. But we'll see. And then we watched The Slammin' Salmon.
We did watch The Slammin' Salmon.
I don't remember what their name of the group is. Do you?
Broken Lizard?
Yeah, Broken Lizard. Nobody ever knows about this movie every time I bring it up. And then when you didn't, I was like, we need to watch this. So
I know. I'm baffled that I didn't know that it existed.
The first time I think I saw it was like a 1 a.m. Comedy Central movie. Like my TV was just on and while I was playing games. I was like, what the hell is that?
So that had to have been... Was that after Club Dread?
No, it was before, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's so weird.
Because I would have been probably watching that like high school or something when I was just up late playing games during the summer.
Weird.
And then we watched... Oh, God, what was that Japanese car show?
Hot something. Wasn't it Hot something?
It wasn't Hot Vision. What was it?
Hot... It was like...
Was it Hot? I don't know.
I don't want to say... It's basically Japan's version of Top Gear.
But Super Japan.
It was Super Japan. It's not...
I hope this PC doesn't reboot in the middle of this, but...
We'll see. It was interesting. I think it's... I don't know. I don't know how I want to...
I will say it is 100% not watchable for me unless Matt is sitting in the room. If I do not have somebody to enjoy the same jokes with me about just the stereotypical archetypes of the show, it wouldn't be fun.
The subtitles are funny for like one episode, but if you wanted to genuinely watch it, it needs better subtitles.
Yeah, if you wanted to actually watch it, but if you even then they're funny for the first episode, but they also continue to just like the weird visuals and the subtitles continue to be funny if you have the right person you're watching it with.
Yeah.
I do think still we both agree that if they had just done that show and then put the guys on that did the MXC voiceover, Vic Romano and Kenny Blankenship, on top of that, it would have been great.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely...
It wouldn't have been a car show at all, but it would have been funny.
I think I'm going to look into it and just kind of peruse the episodes and look at, like... Because from what I read... She was
dressed up as a cat in the second episode.
Yeah, from what I read in the series description, it's not always that format. Like, it's not always them racing supercars.
Oh, okay.
It's like they'll try modified older cars.
It's not always them racing supercars on a mountain pass.
Yeah. So,
Japan, you're so weird. But yeah, that's all the stuff we've been doing.
Yeah, Monaco Grand Prix is this weekend.
The Monaco Grand Prix is this weekend.
It is.
That is true.
Yeah. Did you see Fernando Alonso's Indy 500? Did you hear about anything about that?
No.
Long story short, Fernando Alonso, considered a really good Formula One driver, retired last year. McLaren entered a team for the Indy 500, and the whole idea was for Fernando Alonso to win it and get the Triple Crown, which would be the Monaco Grand Prix, Indy 500, Le Mans.
Right. Which are three ridiculous races to be able to win.
Yes. The Indy 500, you have to... There's 30-something teams, 33 teams that can qualify, or 33 cars that can qualify.
Okay.
The 30 fastest get in. And then after that, like the next 6, it's like they get another qualifying day to where they have to fight among themselves. He didn't make it in the top 30.
Oh.
Long story short, he did not qualify for the race.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's created a whole like kind of hubbub inside the motorsport realm because like for McLaren, it's kind of egg in McLaren's eye and face because like it's McLaren.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
McLaren stepping into a ring going, "We got this," and then getting their ass kicked and going, "Never mind."
Yeah, it's like McLaren and Fernando Alonso, and like everyone's just like, "What the fuck happened?" And like, what does this mean? Like all that. So that's fun.
But Matt, Monaco is like 2 days from now.
Yes.
And if I wanted to waste my time, or not waste my time, maybe I would enjoy it, with a video game or something from now until then.
So what you're saying is, because I can't afford Monaco Grand Prix tickets, perhaps I could invest in a new video game.
Yes. That is what I'm saying. And I have
what are my potential options?
I do have some options for you. I got some good options like the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster for the Switch, Beat Saber for the PC, Broken Sword 5 for the Switch, Dauntless for PS4, Everybody's Golf VR for the PS4, Killing Floor double feature for the PS4. The new Oculus headsets are out. There is a lot of Resident Evil stuff out on the Switch now. Slay the Spire to PS4. This War of Mine to the Switch.
Good addition.
Match played all about 2 hours of it.
I liked it.
TT Isle of Man Riding on the Edge for the Switch.
I do enjoy me a good TT race.
Isle of Man specifically. Watching some of the videos from that place. Whew.
Yeah.
Be a fun one to go to if I was making sure I was like grilling and drinking next to the track.
Yeah,
need something else to be doing.
Yeah, or like finding a really good pub right on the race course
right on
or
the corner,
something.
yeah. Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series, Episode 1 on the Oculus Quest. Virtual reality for the PS4. American Fugitive for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox. And Back in 1995 for the PS4 and Switch.
There's some interesting titles in there.
There are. I think my favorite one is Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series, Episode 1.
Yeah, that's...
It's a mouthful.
Those Star Wars titles, they just can't keep it short.
No. And Galaxy Log long ago, Vader Immortal was a Star Wars Galaxy Episode 7 storyline that we never... J.J. Abrams presents. You got number one.
I do.
Because I need to go get a sip of water.
Number one. We haven't talked about Cyberpunk 2077 in a while. So we'll start with that. CD Projekt Red confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077 will not be playable at E3 this year. They also confirmed that there will be new gameplay footage, though. We got another interesting hint at Cyberpunk's scale via CD Projekt Red's first quarter summary. At the moment, there are over 400 people working on Cyberpunk. For comparison, The Witcher 3 had about 240 developers working on it in-house.
Interesting. Your thoughts? Let's start with the playable thought. Surprising?
I'm realistically no. But it seems like there was a lot of hype building initially. So like I'm not sure. I don't know. Like they seemed like they were starting to put on some coal in the hype train. And I wasn't sure. Like that just seemed weird to me for CD Projekt Red.
I still think that we're probably at least a year and a half from seeing it.
Playable or just like seeing it released?
Released. I think we have another E3 of it. Only because it was weird for them to even show up last year. They had to have gotten a good deal with Microsoft because it was still really weird for them to show up.
That's what's throwing me off is like they're not ones to like come early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they came early.
Yeah, and it's just like now I'm not satisfied and like I'm just kind of like waiting for you to get there now, and it's like but
yeah.
They showed some good stuff. I expect what we're gonna see to be completely different than what we saw the first time, and people to obviously start throwing all the breakdown videos up with like, well, in this first trailer you see this, and then the second one you see this. But they need to not tout this out without releasing it next year. They either need to release it prior to E3 next year, like a spring release, which is what happened to Witcher 3. Witcher 3 was like a March release, I believe. Or April. It was spring.
Yeah, it was earlier in the year.
So they could do that. They could pull it out here and then drop it in spring, which would be crazy to not have a play event here and then do it, unless they wanted to have their own play event at, who knows, Gamescom. You know, them being a European developer anyway. They could do it at Gamescom. And then they could actually control it too, rather than have it being they could control it anyway, but like having it be a public type thing, they could have private things and tie with Gamescom or yada yada, and then drop it in the spring, or they show it again next year as well with a fall release immediately. It's either coming, I think, spring of next year or fall.
That's what I suspect is the second one. Is we see it again and then it releases later.
Because I think if they tout it out this year and say it's not playable, they potentially tout it out only one more time.
Yeah,
and that has to be the final time they do it.
Yeah.
And so unless they skip next year completely and go silent again, which would be also super weird because everybody's going to ask about it. But never know.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, the speaking about the amount of developers they have working on it, like I wonder if they're just making a harder push than they did with Witcher 3 to get it out quicker.
I wonder if they're making maybe not necessarily even a harder push, or if it's a scale situation. You know, because I mean, you could still have 400 developers, but you could have 100 of them just doing graphical things, especially if you're putting it in a city versus having the open world, like fantasy style that Witcher was, where you can just have a forest and be like, it's a giant plain and there's some trees. Yeah, 10 of you guys figure that out. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, there's this building. Now there's the insides of these buildings. Now there's these rooms inside these buildings. And as detailed as their fields were, imagine how detailed their buildings are. Especially when it comes to having to do missions in those buildings and having to run through them and the whole thing. Whole
kit and caboodle.
Yeah, kit and caboodle, 9 yards, yada, yada, yada. Number 2. A couple weeks ago, we pondered if Valve would respond to the positive review bombing of Assassin's Creed Unity brought on by the Notre Dame fire. Valve has in fact responded with a Steam blog. The community blog is surprisingly wordy, so we'll give you the TLDR. The too long, don't read.
Don't read.
That's why I've always considered it, just like the too long, don't read it. But no, too long, didn't read. Summary. Basically, Valve acknowledged that they didn't give much thought to the idea of positive review bombing when they first came up with their policy. They go over the data behind this particular review bomb and note that it would only alter the review score by 1.3% if they removed the new reviews. Valve also noted the context of this review bombing and noted that current events may have impacted the value of the game's recreation of the Notre Dame Cathedral. So the conclusion was that they weren't going to exclude the new reviews, but wanted to share their thought on the process as to why. I like that they actually broke down and said it would only change it by 1.3%, so like we don't need to do anything.
The blog post was, I mean, it was too long for me. But they were basically like meticulously trying to cover their asses and say like, you know, like this could be a thing that pisses people off. So we're going to go through every single detail as to why we're not doing it.
Good on them for doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do like when they actually basically just go this because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And your actual number you're looking for is here. We don't care.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was an interesting read for sure. It definitely came through that they put a lot of thought into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3. The anti-loot box bill has gained some additional traction and
Money.
is now
It's called money.
a bipartisan bill. It's bipartisan.
Yeah, somebody got paid.
Exactly. On top of being introduced by a Republican, the bill is now co-sponsored by 2 Democrats. We finally got a look at the actual writing of the bill, and as anyone outside of politics could imagine, the bill is extremely vague and far-reaching. The wording would effectively...
Wait. Why do you have to be outside of politics to assume that?
Because, if a politician were to explain it, he'd be like, well, you see here, the bill would allow us to do this here. We're protecting you. We're protecting you. We're trying to give the American people their money back, protecting you. Freedom.
You're doing a really good... You're doing a pretty good Red Dead right there. You're doing pretty good. Well done.
I got a plan. No.
It saves me from doing the impressions for this week.
Arthur
Morgan.
The wording would effectively outlaw any use of microtransactions or loot boxes. I didn't want to go too much into it because I was just getting irritated reading it.
There are certain stories that I'm like, yeah, that's a headline, and I'm 5 sentences and I want to I want to die.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to live on this planet where people are this stupid that I have to deal with this. But
that's exactly it right there,
here
folks.
we are.
Yeah. I'm just curious at this point, because now it's bipartisan, like that's the thing nowadays, it seems like. Like if something's bipartisan, it's like, oh fuck, here we go. Like this one's getting through.
I feel like bipartisan is just a political like buzzword as synergy is for management.
Yes.
As you can see by this graph here, I like to promote synergy within my teams, and we do a lot of things to achieve our goals via communication. And any person you ever hear say any of that sentence, walk out of the room. They're lying straight to your face.
Yeah.
If you walk into one of my business meetings, you're going to hear, I get shit done. Do you have a question? Shut up. Thank you for your time. Put your hand down, Timmy. We're not handing out crackers yet. Yes, this is a meeting with 4-year-olds.
So if it's Nate's meeting, it's that meme where the guy gets thrown out the window.
Oh, that is actually very similar to what I ever picture me having to sit into like a boardroom meeting going, is somebody being like, yeah, this, and me just being like, why don't we just do this? And then it's just the next scene is me just getting tossed out a window. Like all we had to do was just turn the computer off. What? Get out.
Did you restart it?
Have you rebooted 3 times? Work jokes. Number 4. The Jesus Christ of video games, Jason Schreier, is still doing the Lord's work over at Kotaku. That might be too big of a title, but I'm going to run with it. This time, he's given us the lowdown on a Call of Duty shakeup over at Activision. Activision has set a development schedule for their Call of Duty games that give each studio 3 years to make a new installment. I'm pretty sure this was something before, but we're going to just go ahead and keep reading.
Yeah, this is an overview.
Oh, okay. For example, this year's game is being made by Infinity Ward, who last released Infinite Warfare in 2016. The 2020 Call of Duty would normally be Sledgehammer, but Activision gave Raven the lead with Sledgehammer supporting. Raven is normally a support studio for the Call of Duty franchise. Raven and Sledgehammer's game was meant to be a Cold War era game. And while Activision, in true Activision fashion, has decided to switch it up even further by giving the 2020 title to Treyarch for the new Black Ops. I'm pausing for dramatic effect, because if you're confused, here, I'll recap in a second. According to 2 of Schreier's sources, there was tension between Raven and Sledgehammer. They said their staff argued frequently during development, and sources said the project was a mess. Now both Raven and Sledgehammer will provide support to Treyarch, and their Cold War era campaign will be worked into Black Ops 5. Before I say anything, do we have more Call of Duty news in this document?
I don't think so.
So, let me give you a little, hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. Raven, you get a game. Raven, you don't get a game. That's basically your breakdown. Hey, Treyarch, you guys just did Black Ops 4. we're going to re-up you for Black Ops 5 the year after. By the way, we've also said, rumored-wise, that the next Call of Duty franchise will be called Call of Duty Modern Warfare and will be made by Infinity Ward.
That's one I forgot.
Yeah. And so a bunch of people got up in arms about them naming it Call of Duty Modern Warfare and all this other shit. Reveal is rumored to be in 6 days, so we might be talking about that next week. Everybody got super up in arms, and apparently I didn't see anything other than just jokes and memes. But apparently, as the internet culture is, some people are actually like upset or annoyed about it. And I think it's just people that scream into an echo chamber and don't understand the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think them naming it Modern Warfare is exactly a great call, but I don't think it hurts anything either.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I just find it the swapping of studios around on a formula that's, I mean, it's worked okay for them so far.
It's still always one of the best-selling games of the year.
Yeah, so like...
It literally doesn't matter. You just put Call of Duty on a piece of shit. Even if it was a literal piece of shit, and not just what people consider Call of Duty's trash, or it's the same thing year after year. Like, no. If you just pulled the Cards Against Humanity and sent them a pile of feces, but it was a Call of Duty box of feces, people would buy it. I'm
curious for context when the game comes out. You know what I mean? Because, like... Was it really that bad, or is Activision getting nervous? Is what I'm curious of.
I'm betting they were actually getting nervous about something and decided to just move things around for moving things around. I'm wondering.
It's just like it seems like a.
I'm thinking they had to be worried because they don't have Destiny anymore.
But at the same time, like the pressure's there from the financial side of it, because like Call of Duty is the best-selling game. It's usually the best-selling or a best-selling game.
It's usually in the top
year
5
over year,
or top 10.
But it's not going up, which is never good when you look at it from an investor side of. So I wonder if Activision is getting nervous and trying to shake things up.
Yeah, and I bet they're trying to shake things up, but they also don't have Destiny anymore.
Yeah,
which would have been like that. You would have been seeing either a big patch or potentially even a D3 reveal. You're going to be getting the new Call of Duty. There's also rumors out that you might be seeing a free-to-play something in terms of Call of Duty, and I would not be surprised to see the next Call of Duty come with a free BR and then have like paid multiplayer and stuff and just be riddled with microtransactions.
Yeah, I could. China has
right
Call of Duty Online.
Yeah, so I could 100% see some free-to-play
monstrosity,
something of Call of Duty just to try to keep competing in this BR scene that Fortnite will forever probably own.
Yeah. Speaking of titles or articles we didn't want to talk about, Fortnite was one of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Have you seen their recent? They partnered with Nike for Jordans.
Oh, they did? That's cool.
But it's like Fortnite's just a running ad at this point.
Oh, yeah. It has been ever since the Marvel thing.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, it's so cool to have product placement inside my video game. And I just went, what the fuck are you saying? Don't you all hate ads on Hulu? So instead we put products inside a video game? Yeah, but it's like cool, man. It's like a unique thing. And I'm like,
these are the people that make me want to go walk into the fucking woods and live under a rock.
It's my favorite because I love a lot of influencers and media people. I have a lot of respect for a lot of them. But when they're going to come around jerking off the idea that Thanos and stuff are in Fortnite, which it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I also don't want to see you getting pissy when McDonald's is on a billboard in a racing game. Like, that doesn't make... Wasn't there one of our games that we were talking about, maybe before we ever did a podcast, that had ads in a menu?
Oh, shit. What was that?
Was it a menu or was it a start screen? It was something where there was ads, like, upon launching the game.
Yeah.
There was a section for ads, and you had to, like, go in and turn it off. Street Fighter? Street Fighter. It was the new Street Fighter because they were putting ads in the backgrounds of the stages, and then also like having them run in other places, and you had to go in and specifically turn them off. And if you turned them off, you earned less like in-game currency for having them off. That's what it was. The Street Fighter whatever we're on. Yeah. So we're all complaining then, but we put Thanos in Fortnite, and we all, yeah, I love Marvel.
It's so funny movies, to me
but,
because
you hypocrites.
That's the thing, is the hypocrite part. Like we read the thing about the microtransaction bill, and it's like, all right, it's politicians being politicians and power grabbing, but at the same time, you kind of open the door.
Yeah, you open the door by not taking care of it yourself.
Yeah,
none of you want to step up and just put a hammer down. So here we are.
Yep. The world we live in.
Keep them out of my games, but at the same time, I'm going to rob these children blind. All right. Woo-hoo, I'm an art tycoon. Oh, that's got no fucking reference to that. Anyway.
All right, let's talk about Sony.
Yay.
Nothing crazy groundbreaking this week, but a couple things happened. A couple follow-ups.
I'm just gonna give you a one-word booze and
yay,
yays.
Boo. Apparently, Sony's deal with Microsoft was a surprise to the PlayStation team, according to Bloomberg. Bloomberg said that the deal was handled by the senior management in Tokyo and didn't involve the PlayStation division at all.
I can 100% believe that.
Yes.
We know the amount of leaks that have come out of these places. You would not want this getting out.
Yes.
All of a sudden, one of our software developers has on his LinkedIn page that he now knows how to use Microsoft Azure. That's weird. What can we speculate about this? Does Red Dead 3 already exist on PC? God, these fucking developers, man.
It's so interesting to me because, like, the reaction to that whole deal was... I wasn't expecting it to be so polarizing. Like, on the one hand, there was the people who were really excited about it, which I think we kind of fell into that category. We
got real jerk-offy about the idea of what
could happen,
what we could potentially pipe dream into cross-playing and such, and we effectively solved the console war.
Yes,
you're welcome.
And then the other side was like, the sky is falling, Sony's doomed. That being said, I believe Sony's stock went up like some stupid amount after the deal.
Makes sense because it's a good deal.
Yeah. All right.
Sony has now realized that it can't survive on its own platform, so it got a better one. Stock goes down. Wait, what? That's the Groot meme. Or the Gru meme.
Mm-hmm.
Have bad services. Get better services. Stock goes down. Stock goes down. It's exactly that meme. Great panel. Great 4-panel frame. You're welcome.
A video was leaked from Sony's Investors Relations Day in Japan.
That sounds like the worst event to attend.
Yeah, imagine what that sounds like in Japanese.
A lot of synergy.
The video shows the drastic difference in load times between the PS4 Pro and the PS5. We already knew about that because of the Wired article with Mike Cerny. From a couple weeks ago, but it's still nice to see.
I always enjoy seeing the proof. I want to see it happen on a PS5 game.
Yes.
Stop showing me PS4 games.
Yes. Well,
you can't. But come on now.
Yeah.
Spice up my life, bud.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be. I
mean, it'll be a wash because they'll add in all new like graphic tech and like 4K, 8K and stuff.
That's the part where I'm like, yeah. Cool. You guys, look how fast this loads the Snake game. My phone loads Minesweeper faster than my fucking computer does. What do you think? I'm playing that still?
Oh, Minesweeper. Good stuff.
It's like this whole it loads faster. I'm like, yes, it should. This shouldn't be a discussion. Like, oh my God, it loads amazingly. And I'm sure it does. Mark Cerny, a brilliant man. I'm sure it loads at a blistering pace. But exactly what we're saying, when we actually get to a PS5 game that is leveraging all of this new hardware, will it actually be that fast? And the thing with the backwards compatibility where they're like, well, we're showing you a single-player Spider-Man experience, which its movement, it needs those load times. But I don't know anybody that I can think of that's going to be playing Spider-Man, the PS4 Spider-Man, on the PS5. Like, that hasn't already.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Like, the backwards compatibility is usually more for multiplayer games that you don't want to have to get rid of a multiplayer library because of that. Like, that whatever.
Yeah.
I'm being semantic. That's not a adjective.
It is
picky.
now.
I'm being picky.
All right, last for Sony. Sony Interactive Entertainment, the division that oversees PlayStation, has created PlayStation Productions. PlayStation Productions is a group that will handle bringing video game properties to film and television. PlayStation Productions will be overseen by Sean Layden.
More for Sean to
play with, I assume.
Take a look at.
Yeah. That was curious. That was curious.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because there's immediately 4 things that come to mind. And they all just scream why to me. Last of Us, Uncharted, Horizon, and Death Stranding.
Uncharted was the one that everyone was pushing for.
Well, yeah, of course, because it's basically a movie, and so is Last of Us, and so is Horizon. And then the one that I'm kicking, which is Death Stranding, because why wouldn't fucking Kojima already have a TV show in the works? Because you've been playing the game the whole time. Wait till, man, I dissect what Death Stranding means for our E3 predictions.
The thought hadn't even crossed my fucking mind that I'd have to see Death Stranding again.
I'm going to re-up my prediction from last year where I said that he walks out on stage. He walks out on stage and says, "You've been playing the whole time," while holding up a phone, and then says, "Fuck you," and walks off. Oh, Kojima. Never change. My probably favorite news article of the week, and it happened early in the week. I think it was even on Sunday. It was after we recorded on last week. Number 6. Nostalgia. What a fickle beast. World of Warcraft Classic is a perfect example of this, as a Blizzard community manager had to make a post on the WoW Classic forums of what is not actually a bug in the game. For those of you that don't know, the beta did come out. It was, I believe, invite only. I need to check and see if I have an invite. But it has caused a lot of people to not remember the past as it actually was, and more of what they thought it was.
I really enjoyed this because, like, I've been saying that since they announced it. I was like, you people don't know what you're asking for.
My favorite part is I just keep picturing Endgame. All your failures. And where did they get you? It brought you right back to me. So from the community manager, this is from Kyvax, I believe is how you pronounce that name. I'm just going to highlight some of them that this person mentions. As we've discussed before, the nature of WoW Classic sometimes invokes different memories for different players, and this leads to certain misconceptions for some about what is or isn't working as intended. The following is a list of commonly reported gameplay in WoW Classic that is not actually a bug and is working as we expect it to. If I can read these quick enough, I'll probably get through all of them, but I am just going to start skimming. So here we go. Tauren's hitboxes and their melee reach is slightly larger than other races. In case you're curious, Tauren's the biggest race in the game at this point. Being critically struck while using /sit to sit does not cause abilities like Enrage, Blood Craze, and Reckoning to activate. Using the automatic quest tracking option does not auto-track newly accepted quests. It instead will start to track an existing quest once progress towards an objective is started. Warrior health regeneration is working at the expected rate. Quest objectives and points of interest are not tracked on the map or minimap, which I just love this stuff. It's like, do you not remember how painful this was? Completed quests are marked on the minimap with a dot and not a question mark. Feared players and NPCs run fast. Might be my favorite one in the entire list. Yeah, they run fast. Like, what do you... standing on top of other players while facing away allows spells and attacks to be used. Creature respawn rates are much slower than in Battle for Azeroth. The fact that this is in, that people thought this was a fucking bug boggles my mind. Creature respawn rates are much slower than in the current fucking expansion over 15 years later.
I can't wait for this to come out. I cannot wait. Oh, the chaos.
NPCs which offer multiple quests may inconsistently display them as a dot or an exclamation point on the available quest list. They were inconsistent in 1.12, and we've reproduced the exact inconsistency they had back then.
Dude,
Can you kill that?
Oh, I guess.
Like, I don't. You can use that bandana if you want. I don't have a shoe up here, otherwise I'd say use that. Actually, there's a shoe at the end of the hallway if you wanted to use that, but if that works, good luck. That guy's moving. Oh, where'd he go? I don't know. Don't mind me. We need to kill a spider in the studio real quick. Matt just refuses to slap the thing for whatever reason.
Motherfucker's fast.
Yeah, that's why just slap it. Don't try to suck on it. Well, I guess if we find it again, I'll kill it, but just splatter the wall with guts next time, man. We'll find it. He can't run forever. We are inevitable.
All right, well, there's a spider somewhere in this room.
Yeah, whatever. I'll kill him. So yeah, they reproduced inconsistency. Quests that are too low level do not show up as a question mark in the game world. Available quests do not display an exclamation point on the minimap. On level up, the message "Your skill in protection increased to 15" was added in 1.12.1, and we're intending to keep that. You are unable to polymorph enemy targets that are tapped by players with whom you are not grouped. At all levels of player characters and enemies, aggro radius is set to the intended distance, which therefore means people for some reason thought they shouldn't be able to get pulled by mobs as they're trying to sneak places, I assume.
This is beautiful.
It is. It's my favorite. Long quest objectives don't have text wrapping. Fall damage is equivalent to expected and verified values. Broadcast text can be seen multiple times if multiple players interact with the same NPC. Wanted signs do not have a question mark and are also not highlighted. Player characters do not animate when looting interacting with quest objects. Gnomes and Taurens are the correct size. We appreciate all your feedback.
I feel like to a certain extent, like Blizzard is trolling.
I'm shooting in the dark now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He could be anywheres. Have you ever seen Arachnophobia?
No. I've like seen I think the trailer and stuff, but it's just anything I've ever watched. I've only seen like part of Anaconda and stuff. It's just, I don't know. The like giant monster fights.
What I appreciate about Arachnophobia though is that it's more, I don't want to say it's more realistic, but it feels more realistic than like Anaconda or some of the other monster movies.
Mothra.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yep. On to the next one.
Okay. Number 7, the beta for Mario Kart Tour, Nintendo's latest mobile game, has gone live in the US. People's experiences with the beta haven't been hopeful so far. The core game is faithful to the Mario Kart franchise and seems to be a genuine recreation. As you could probably guess by current trends, the problem comes with the microtransactions. There are multiple currencies with green gems being the premium currency that can be purchased. Drivers, carts, and gliders have specific bonuses, and almost all need to be unlocked with some form of currency. Then there are stamina hearts that determine how long you can play. At the moment, a heart seems to last about 15 minutes. If you run out of hearts, then you have to wait to play more, or you can purchase gems to then trade for hearts. All said, it looks like there's 4 different currencies. Granted, this is the beta, So all this could potentially change.
Interesting.
It is interesting. For sure.
I mean, I'm all against microtransactions when they're done wrong. So we'll see. Maybe they're done right. But
yeah,
I don't know, 15 minutes isn't really too bad, though.
Yeah, I guess
that's
that's
a solid bathroom break.
I guess it depends on like how many of those hearts or whatever you get.
I can only fake having to pee for so long. That's all I'm saying. Number 8. Valve has released yet another mobile app, and this time it's a standalone chat app that incorporates most of the features from the desktop variant. The app is currently available on Android and iOS devices, and voice chat is missing from the app currently, but Valve have said they are working on adding the feature.
What is their deal with these apps, bro? They just they're like, I guess we'll make another app.
They're like podcasts, man. They just grow on trees. Okay. Welcome to our ununique situation.
I'm
just like, I'm not even paranoid. I just want to fucking kill it now because now I'm annoyed that I got away.
Oh, well. He'll come back.
Oh yeah, he will. Then he'll die.
Hey, remember the Ouya?
Ouya.
I guess I call it the Ouya.
No, it was the Ouya.
Okay, Ouya.
Ouya. Ooh, child.
The game console that raised $9 million on Kickstarter then fell flat on its face upon release.
Yeah.
Well, the Ouya finally is dead.
That was a question?
Yeah, dude, it was still running, man.
With who?
The online services for the console will be shut down on June 25th. The console's production was discontinued in 2015. And then,
I was going to say, I was with you when we took them off the shelf.
And then, for some reason, Razer purchased the rights to the Ouya and left it on life support until now. May it rest in peace.
They might have been doing something with it for the Shield. They might have had some.
No, apparently it was completely unrelated. They just left the service on for X amount of time.
Good for you, Razer.
I guess.
Crazy people. Number 10. A while ago, there was a rumor making the rounds that George R.R. Martin was collaborating. They do that good old collaboration. Oh, God, I can't read. A while ago, there was a rumor making the rounds that George R.R. Martin was collaborating on a game with From Software. Those rumors were stoked once again after a blog post from the Game of Thrones author that said he was, quote, consulted on a video game out of Japan, end quote. A report from
Gamatsu, I guess?
Why do I think that's not spelled right?
I don't know, bro.
A report from Gamatsu claims to have a few... God, that's bugging me that I feel like that should be something else. A report from them claims to have a few more details. They believe the game is an open-world title with horse riding and has been in development for 3 years. The source for... It's not Gamasutra?
I think you're thinking of a different site.
Okay, yeah. I was like, Gamasutra it's definitely a thing. Anyway. I'll continue. The source for Gamatsu article. God, it's bugging me. Now I just want to read it as that. Oh, stop, Nate. Get back on the fucking joke you're trying to make here. The source for that article also said that the game would be announced at Microsoft's E3 2019 press conference, incoming My Little Pony game. Or My Summer Horseback is Magic. Or something. It said it has, I don't know, the only fucking hint of like gameplay was that you fucking ride horses. Why is that even a thing? Why is that?
I don't know. I thought it was weird too. That's why I threw it in there.
That's why I'm making dumb fucking Barbie, the horse riding Barbie jokes. Can't wait to see what they fucking debut at E3.
Supermassive Games.
You know it's going to be something stupid, right?
Oh, I'm sure it'll probably be some weird fantasy game that's... Well, I don't know. It's From Software, though.
Rumors.
True.
He just said rumors. From Japan.
Rumors.
And From just got done with Sekiro.
Yeah, and they also said that they wanted to do a Battle Royale style game.
Yeah, so they're just going to make Battle Royale on horses? Why would they need George R.R. Martin for a Battle Royale game?
Oh, Battle Royale cavalry game?
Isn't that just chivalry, medieval warfare?
But they don't have horses, do they?
I don't know.
And it's not,
play
whatever.
Play Kingdom Come Deliverance.
What's that new game that everyone's talking about? It starts with an M.
Not Mordor. Medor.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though.
Medaur.
Is that like the new?
It's a For Honor without the For Honor combat system, class system, domination game.
That game came out of nowhere. Everyone's just like
Mordeau.
Yeah.
Mordeau. Yeah.
We'll get there,
damn
folks.
French pronunciations.
We'll get there.
Mordeau. I don't know why I always have to go to Eve. Great guy.
Number 11.
He just has the most French name I could ever hear.
Well, yeah, and these video games, related.
And he's just a lovable guy.
He just looks happy all the time.
What point is can you imagine him being mad? I feel like I'd be the most scared if he was actually mad.
Maybe
it's
he's like
it's like seeing Matt L when he's actually furious.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, you're never usually this angry. Then there's the one time he just throws a walkie across the room, and you're like,
oh. I'm like single-handedly breaking this molding, by the way.
In case you're curious, it's not really held on by much.
Well, because I constantly put my weight on it, so it's flexing
lean
it.
in between it, and you're fine.
Yeah, but then I got to resituate my whole setup here. All right, number 11, Supermassive Games.
I'll get you a fucking cane, you old man.
Supermassive Games, the makers of Until Dawn, have given us a release date for their latest game, what did we say it was?
Man of Medan.
Medan?
I say Medan. I'm probably fucking wrong.
I think it's Medan. I don't know. I don't know anymore. You know what? Fuck it. I don't know. It'll be out August 30th on Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
The Man of Medan.
It looks good. Check it out.
The Man of Medan. There. Now it's officially completely different.
Okay.
Just like Project Stadia.
The Man of Medan.
Yeah. The Man of Me, Dan. I watched it at PAX.
Yeah, it looks good.
It was definitely by the Until Dawn people. And that's not a bad thing.
No.
There was definitely one scene that was really creepy. It was one of the water, a lot of arms scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the one of which you speak.
I know of the tale of what you say. And number 12, BuzzFeed News has 3 sources who claim that a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic movie is being written by Leda Kalogridis.
I'm glad you got stuck with this one.
I
was like, I don't know how to pronounce this name.
Leda Kalogridis? Oh, God, I'm sorry. Leda K?
Yeah,
LK.
Go with that.
LK wrote the screenplay for Shutter Island. So this movie's fucked.
You didn't like Shutter Island?
If it's going to have all these twists and turns, fuck that. Anyway, so she wrote... she? I don't even know.
Yeah, she.
Okay, she wrote the screenplay for Shutter Island, Alita Battle Angel, which I did not watch that one.
Haven't either.
And Terminator Genesis, the 2015. She was an executive producer for Avatar. What do you fucking do? And the creator and showrunner of Altered Carbon. From what I hear, I should watch it. Still haven't.
I liked it.
But I've already apparently written the story when we were on a podcast.
Yeah, I forgot about
3 months ago.
Yeah.
My bad.
I was initially... So let me walk you through this real quick. So initially I read it. And I was like, all right, this is stupid. Like, I didn't recognize the name. And I was immediately like, okay, so here's like them injecting forcefully, the whole like female perspective into Star Wars. And then I looked up her IMDb and her info and what she's been doing or has done. And I was like, oh, okay, so she actually seems to be talented. I really liked Altered Carbon, so.
And Shutter Island was a good movie.
Yeah. So
I just was like disappointed at the end.
See, I should come clean on the whole Shutter Island thing. I watched it one time, and I watched it like stoned out of my gourd.
Yeah, you should come clean on with that, so that way I can just say, yeah, you fucking missed a lot. Because the whole movie was me going, what the fuck? And then the end they just go, this. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, so that experience is a million times better if you are under the influence.
Well, here's the best part. I don't remember enough of it. I know, like, the Spark Notes version of it.
Yeah.
So let's just get stoned, and then we'll watch a bunch of movies like that. Like, we should... So I've never been high.
Want to get high?
You guys want to get high? Make sure you got a towel. So... I don't know why I'm doing towel. We should get high and then play like Until Dawn.
That's interesting. But aren't the decisions timed?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Some of them, but not all of them. Like there are quick time events.
Yeah. Oh.
But some of the decisions you have time on.
Okay.
And honestly, it'd be funny just to not just debate a decision at the most, like, just fucking kill him.
Like that. That's probably what it turned into, though, is us just be like, any situation would be like, kill him.
we'd get to a decision.
We'd bond with one specific dude, and then we'd just make it our goal to get that person through, and that's it.
Like, that's it. Mike, you're it. I don't give a shit what anybody else. Nope. I like Mike. I'll just wear stickers. I'll just have the I Like Ike stickers, but with an M sharpied onto it.
Last up, I'm sure you haven't watched either of these trailers, but I brought up Terminator Dark Fate had a trailer out, which was kind of contentious. I don't want to say contentious, but
I'm not a Terminator guy.
I'm not either, but the interesting part about it was I was like, why are they making another Terminator movie? So I reluctantly watched the trailer, and I immediately knew why right after the production credits went through on the trailer. 10-cent Pictures.
Oh.
And immediately it went back to the conversation we had about how
weird movies do really well in Asia.
Especially action movies. So, yeah. And Star Trek's on there just because it's Star Trek, and the teaser
nobody
got
gave
me all
a shit.
hyped.
Oh,
got
sorry.
Fucking hyped.
Yeah. All right. Fucking
Hyped.
Calm down, nerd boy. Why don't you go wear a red shirt and die in 3 minutes?
If only I could.
I've been wearing red this entire time, and I'm still not dead.
Yeah, for real.
Somebody run me over with the wave. Anyway.
I
don't think I have anything else.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna verify that because I did screw up the one time.
How dare you failure!
I don't like how this new phone shows battery.
Yeah, what's the prognosis on the new phone so far?
I literally set it up when I got home today.
Oh, okay, so it's like
it's new,
brand new.
I hate putting on screen protectors.
Yeah, I don't have one. So on my phone.
So I don't have one on here.
I've dropped my phone a lot, and it's been very resilient.
The instructions did not make sense.
I see you have it on. Show me your screen again. Do you have it set to nighttime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on nighttime. I didn't have my other phone on.
That feature is very. I don't. Did your old phone have it?
I think it did, but I didn't ever turn it on.
It's extremely underrated.
Oh, I can tell already that it is.
Especially when you're trying to go to bed at night. It is. It's a godsend.
I really want to like mess with Sam right now and be like, oh look, Courtney messaged me, but that's not true, and she doesn't listen to us anyway. What the fuck is this? It did take me forever to find the Wi-Fi calling setting though, and that was annoying. It's not where I thought it would be.
I don't even know. Like, mine's on. I don't know.
I turned mine on while I'm here because like when you called me the first time, my phone didn't ring. It just popped up and said missed call, and I went, "What? That's not." And then I was like, "Oh, my Wi-Fi calling's not on, so my service in the living room is impossible." And so then I just spent the entire time petting Max and trying to figure out how to turn on the damn Wi-Fi calling. Let's see here. Let's take a look and make sure that we don't have a question. Nope, we don't. He has shown his face again, and this podcast will be ended if I kill him because I will yank out my cord. Hand me that bandana that I don't wear anymore because I used it for fucking Humans vs. Zombies. Did you ever play that? That was a fun game.
No. I'm familiar with it, but I never actually got involved in that. Dude, what would you do if he climbed into the port? Oh, I don't know. We'll never know. Okay, it's in now.
Hey. He's dead.
Okay.
He's dead, Jim. He's dead.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Time to go home. Blast off. We'll see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.